Alright, so this box is fairly big. This is the Figma Good Smile Company Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf. And looks like it's a big figure. The box is pretty cool. It comes in a sleeve. They've released Link first last year. Now we have Ganondorf. We do have Zelda coming next from Tears of the Kingdom. So it's cool that we're getting these figures from this game. Very exciting. They're not cheap though. They're Figmas, so we already know these things are not going to be cheap. Once you slide it out the sleeve, you get the figure. I don't think I've ever seen a sleeve like that, at least from any of the ones that I've owned. Uh, but then again, I haven't owned a lot of Figmas, so here he is. Hard to tell because of the glare. There's a lot of plastic in there, and there's plastic on top of plastic, so we're gonna go ahead and open it and take a better look. Alright, so this figure is a little frustrating. So getting him out of the package and just trying to get him to stand up, he's very difficult to stand up. I don't particularly like the design of the figure either. The way they designed it, it contributes to a lot of issues with just simply standing the figure up. We'll take a closer look at all of the points of articulation on this guy, but the main culprit is this back piece here. You see his cloak that he has. It's a sculpted piece, and this is as far down as it goes. It does have a hinge. It can go up, but it can't go down any further, and the weight of it just keeps pulling him back. So I have to play around with his legs and his ankles quite a bit. He's on a slight lean forward to compensate for the weight back there so he can actually stand. If not, he will fall back every time. So it's a little frustrating on that part. It took me quite a bit of just adjusting the legs, and there's joints all over the place. It's articulated like crazy, which is good. Good articulation, but it's almost articulated too much to the point where like the legs, you try to bend the leg and you're bending the thigh instead, and then the knee, and the thigh swivel slash ball joint that's there, it's super deep. Like it's almost this. I don't even want to move it because it took me so long to get him just to stand. But it moves. There's a lot of room in there. It bends almost like a knee joint. That's how heavy it is. But aside from that, the sculpt, the paint, the design of the sculpt is great. It looks great. It looks really good, just like from the game. I love the gold paint for the gold aspects of the figure. Um, Everything else looks awesome. I honestly cannot complain. He comes with quite a bit of accessories. He's big, but he's not ginormous, you know. He's a big figure, but here is his sword that he comes with, or one of his swords. It comes with a little sheath here, very nicely sculpted and detailed as well. Here is the blade, and it goes right in. And then we get this flame effect. Looks like you can put the blade through there. There's a little flame effect. We get alternate heads. You can see the neutral head sculpt on right now. We do get a yelling head sculpt, which is good. That looks great. And then we get this crazy looking head sculpt, which actually did happen in the game, and they included it. So there it is. I thought the eyes were adjustable because they look like they are, but they're not. But anyways, those are the alternate heads. A goofy looking one. We got a more serious open mouth, and then of course the stern neutral look on the figure right now. So we do get this big bow here, but with no string, which is kind of crazy if you ask me. I don't know why there isn't a string on this thing. But here it is. It's bigger than the figure itself. It's pretty long. We get a secondary sword. Like I mentioned, that was one of his swords. Here is number 2 right here, very big and hefty. Here is what looks like it's like a spear or a staff. Here is one of the arrows that you can use to shoot with your stringless bow. We got alternate hands here. We have a pair of open hands. Here's a pair of grabbing hands for that sword. And then we get these hands right here. It's a somewhat of a fist here, and then this is a grabby hand as well for his sheath. You can put the sheath in there. Now we do get a Figma base and stand, so if you cannot get him to stand up at all, you can use that base and stand to hold him up. Alright, so here's a little closer look at the figure. You can see more of the paint details on this guy. Overall, he looks great, like I mentioned before, paint-wise and sculpt-wise. Not the biggest fan of the articulation designs. Like on the sleeved hand, we get this design here for his elbow joint, and the same design as on the knee joints too. I guess it helps it blend in with the sculpt, so I guess aesthetically it does look pretty decent. but I just never been a fan of knee joints that are like split down the knee, split down the elbow like that. But then again, pick your poison, right? Because if you look at the right arm, that looks a lot more, I guess, of an eyesore, right? So I don't know. You guys tell me which one you guys prefer. But yeah. What's cool about this guy though, he has like ball jointed hinges everywhere. So like this little piece right here is a ball jointed hinge. The sleeve has a hinge on it as well. So you can see that doesn't get in the way. You can have it flailing in the wind. The back piece of his cloak as well, as I mentioned. His big old back hair piece is on a ball jointed um, hinge as well. So highly articulated all throughout. Considering it's a sculpted cloak, you do have the option of getting it out the way. So that's great. He does have these shoulder butterfly joints here, so you can extend his arm out pretty good. So that's cool. Overall, the range isn't terrible. It's a little bit more hindered with the sleeve arm though. His neck has this very wide hinge too, so you can move his neck down like this. He can look all the way down. He can't really look up too much though. Actually, he can't look up at all. So there's that. Alright, so here we have Ganondorf next to Link from the same game, from the Tears of the Kingdom. And you can see Link is shorter as he should be, so the scale is pretty good. Link, for his size, I was surprised when I got Link. I thought he was going to be a little bit smaller for whatever reason. I don't know why. I just felt like it would be smaller, but he's a good scale. I like this scale for Link. And Ganon almost feels like he's a little too small, So is Link too big in this scenario, or is Ganon too small in this? I think Ganon's just a little bit underscaled. I feel like he should be bigger. But nonetheless, it's so cool to have these two. I feel like we're probably not going to get a Ganondorf ever again, possibly. So, I mean, this is the first time we get Ganondorf. We've gotten plenty of Links. We've only gotten Zelda like once. So, it's going to be nice to get her again in this Tears of the Kingdom, fit. So, very exciting to get the complete set once they're all out. But yeah, this looks great. Figma loves to do the peg holes in the hands like on the side like that, and I hate it. I can't stand it. I don't like it. It makes it difficult to properly like just casually, like I can't even casually display this fist right now because it's just angled out. I don't like it. I mean, that should be like for the optional hand, but not every single hand, Alright guys, overall, this figure aesthetically looks very pleasing. It looks really good, paint-wise, sculpt-wise. It's just a little finicky when it comes to the articulation. He's highly articulated, but there's just a lot of areas that, I don't know, I'm just not really too happy with. I guess it could have just been executed a little bit better, but you can get him into some pretty good poses. It's just a matter of balancing him. He's just very back heavy, and that that cloak that he has tied around his waist, it gets in the way basically. But overall, the amount of accessories that you get with this wasn't like a deluxe extra accessory release. I don't know if they made one or not, but it comes with a decent amount of accessories nonetheless. But overall, like I said, this is Ganondorf, in 1/12 scale form. It's going to look amazing next to your Zelda and your Link figures. So I say if you're a Legend of Zelda fan, this is definitely a must-have. As far as I'm concerned, it's the first Ganondorf figure in this scale articulated like this that we've gotten. And it might be the only one. So before his price skyrockets even higher, then I would recommend picking him up. So with that said, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.